Now let us see syntax analysis. Syntax analysis is also called as parsing. What happens in parsing? Let us see. See, this is our initial statement. Position is equal to initial into plus rate into 60. After lexical analysis, we have seen that all these human readable statements were reduced to with tokens. Now, this is taken as input to syntax analyzer. Syntax analysis will be done on this statement and it produces a structure. What's meant by syntax of a language? Every language has syntax. Syntax is a well-specified set of rules to specify the correctness of a language. Say in English, to form a sentence, there are a certain rule, and that rule should be followed. If that rule is violated, people who know English will say that my English is not as per the grammar. I have to go back to my elementary study on the language. This work is being done by our brain automatically when we hear a sentence in a language that we are familiar with. This job should be done by the compiler now. Lexemes are produced. All identifiers are meaningfully represented with tokens. Now, this statement, is it as per the syntax mentioned by the language designer? That part is being taken by the syntax analyzer. Grammatical structure of stream of tokens are checked, and if it is correct, we will get a parse tree or a syntax tree as a result of this in syntax analysis. And of course, syntax analysis will refer to symbol table also when it builds a tree. This should be automatically done by a program. Remember that. The program has to know about the rules of assignment operator. What are the rules related to addition operator? What will happen? What should happen if ID 1 is float and ID 3 is int? You should also know when there are more than one operators, which operator should be given precedence. Now, all these things will be clearly mentioned by the language designer. Compiler designer will have to take all those features into account. Then, as per that, he will design a grammatical structure, and based on that grammatical structure, a parse tree will have to be created like this. If a parse tree could be created like this, then the mission of syntax analysis is perfect. Otherwise, we will get appropriate error messages in syntax analysis phase. Once the syntax is correct, semantic aspects of the language will have to be maintained. What do you mean by the semantic aspects? Syntactical correctness we can easily mention. I went to school. School went. There is a syntactical imbalance between these two statements. How it will be semantically wrong? Suppose that if I say I am a beautiful lady, this statement is syntactically correct. But as I laughed spontaneously by stating this, you also have a similar feeling when we hear semantically incorrect statements. Intended meaning of that statement is not correct. We will say that is not semantically correct. Now, how the semantic aspects come in a programming language that we have to realize. See here, syntax analyzer, it generates a parse tree. Now this parse tree is corrected here. Just see this node. What's happening here? I request you to go back to the Art of Programming Methodology classroom and tell me what is happening. We have learned this in the initial days of C programming. See, in programming language like C, there are integer mode arithmetic, mixed mode arithmetic. In integer mode arithmetic, if both operands are of an operator like addition or int, result will be int. So if I divide 3 by 2, I will get 1. In mixed mode arithmetic, if one operand is of int and the other operand is of float, there is an automatic type conversion. It is not the fancy of a computer designer. This is how C is designed. As per the C's design, compiler has to work. That is meant by the semantic aspect of a statement. So here you can see that rate into 60. Here these three might be floating point variables. We have a integer here 60. So before this statement is getting compiled and the actual code is getting generated, since the programmer has omitted this portion, he may be aware of the fact that in this language is available, it is allowed, and automatically 60 will be promoted to a higher data type. See here, it is being done. This task is being done by the compiler, not by the programmer. It has forcefully converted 60 to a floating point number, and as per that, the syntax tree is modified. And here, semantic consistency of the source program is getting verified. And one of the aspects of semantic analysis is data type checking, as we have explained now.